to Walter Kern. Very smart guy, journalist,
Very
comes on the
smart guy,
show.
yeah.
And he, this morning, tweeted out something that's since gone everywhere. And he wrote the following: "Can I blow the whole UFO thing wide open for you? You won't believe me anyway. It's only a matter of time until you hear things that will rock your world, if your world is rockable. You will have a hard time verifying them, but that's true of everything you hear. It's true of unemployment statistics. They will be very specific things, however, and so far out, so beyond your expectations, they will ring your bell, and you'll hear them from people you were not ready to hear such things from. The shells are all in the cannon. It's all about who gets to shoot it and who wins and who loses when it goes off. There's money involved. Lots. Hear me now, believe me later, as they say."
Turn of Dronapalooza.
America is not ready for what's coming from the heavens. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, glory, and honor that's due to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rachahak, Wadash, and Doa honors to the elders and apostles of the great millstone who rule well. And peace and blessings to the 144,000 and the hopeful elect. Shalom Barakathum. It's been a minute since I've reacted to a video of Jason A. Okay, but it's a good topic, speaking about the UFOs and all of the weird air traffic interactions they've been having with the chariots of the Most High, man. Okay, now let me just outline what these so-called UAPs are. Okay, for those of you that don't know, this is a part of our deliverance. Okay, and that's why there's such a big deal being made out of it, because Esau is no longer able to hide the things that he's once been able to hide. The excuses that he has or has had in the past no longer suffice, because the chariots are becoming more and more, not only bolder, but in higher frequency. Okay, so he has to get in front of it to spin the narrative about what's going on, because he's got to be the guy with the answers. But we, the men of the Lord, are here to tell you, you know, what it really is. Okay, this is Zechariah 5:2. It says, "And he said unto me, What seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll." Okay, it says the length thereof is 20 cubits and the breadth thereof 10 cubits. So Zechariah is seeing something, okay, that is in the skies, man. With his eye, he's witnessing it. Okay, and the only two things that you would see back in the ancient world in the sky flying around would either be birds or clouds. Okay, and that's essentially what chariots or so-called UFOs are referred to quite commonly in the scriptures, as clouds especially. Okay, and so when he sees this flying roll, okay, it's an odd-shaped device, not unlike the one they've spotted called Three-Eye Atlas recently. Okay, or Oumuamua, the one before that. All right, it says, verse 3, the main point, "Then said he unto me, This is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth." Okay, so that's what this is. They're not here to give you some new technology, okay, unless it's to destroy yourself, okay, like he did with the thermonuclear weapons that are going to be deployed, you know, all over the globe. Okay, it says, "For everyone that stealeth shall be cut off, as on this side according to it." Okay, it says, "And everyone that sweareth shall be cut off, as on that side according to it." So that's one of the things that the chariots are doing. They're observing things. They're recording things. Okay. All right. We're the witnesses to testify against, you know, this place. All right. And the chariots and the angels, they're the investigators, man. All of these things are going to be found. All of the facts are going to be brought to the forefront. Okay. And what I mean by the title of that they are not ready is not just the technology that they're not ready for, it's who's driving them and why are they here? Who are they here for? Okay. And this will be a real quick lesson. Okay. I'm going to get that in Wisdom of Solomon 5. Let's play a little bit more.
Yeah. Recall from last year, drones everywhere over key installations. They shut down Langley Air Force Base. They shut down Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. They were seen for several weeks by hundreds of thousands of people over New Jersey, over a nuclear plant, over sensitive military installations. They were out here in the Southwest over Plant 42. And the same thing happened in almost all these cases. They'd come in out of nowhere, undetected. They'd loiter around, making themselves obvious. The lights are on. Nobody knew where they're from. They would leave and could not be tracked. None of them were shot down. We don't know who was behind them or what was going on. And now the same thing has been happening almost a year later across Europe. You know, you'll recall there were a couple of UK military bases, joint bases, that were overflown by these drones. I think we were told by our friend Chris Sharp that there were attempts to bring them down with the best anti-drone technology. Poof, did nothing. Now they've been making a nuisance of themselves over several European countries, and you have to wonder who's behind it, what's going on, where.
This is Isaiah 31:3. Now the Egyptians are men and not the Most High, and their horses flesh and not spirit. Okay? And horses was the ancient vehicle back then. Okay, what's the modern vehicle? How do you get the fastest point A to point B in the ancient world? It was a horse. How do you get the fastest transportation A to B in the modern world? Okay, it's aircrafts. Okay. It says, when the Lord Yahweh shall stretch out his hand, both he that helpeth shall fall. All right, and that's all these other nations are going to turn and go to 2 Esdras 13 for more on that. Okay, they're all going to turn and fight the Lord. So everybody that tries to help Egypt shall fall. It says, and he that is hoping shall fall down, and they all shall fail together. Okay, that's 2 Esdras 13. Okay, that's also Revelation 12:12. Their place was found no more in heaven. Okay, in the war of Armageddon. Okay, where the angels are going to fight. And that's these UFOs, who they call UFOs. It says, I'm going to skip down to verse 5. It says, as birds flying, so will the Lord Yahweh of hosts defend Jerusalem. And this is what I mean about they're not ready. They're not ready for the chariots themselves, and they're not ready for the reason the chariots are here. Okay, because we are looked at as what? Worthless, the bottom of the barrel, despicable, violent, savage, stupid, whatever pejorative you can think of, they've attached it in the name black, okay, to you. And your reputation precedes you, Jake. Everywhere you go in the world, you're marked, okay? Just know that, all right, in this kingdom.
These things are from. We have exactly the right guy to answer those questions, right?
Yeah, our man in the UK, as you said, Chris Sharp, he's always been on this kind of stuff. I am excited. He has Liberation Times. He's got some great articles. He's really been dogged about the UAP thing, but also about the national security implications of what we're calling, drones at this time. So he just knows far more than I do about this, and he's always come on this show and given us great information. I love his articles. Everybody should go check out.
I'm going to be in suits. I thought we were coordinating.
He's handsome, man. I could never live up to it. Looking great, Chris.
Chris, it's great to see you. We've been following your reporting. As always, excellent work. Yeah. The thing that's different this time is you were kind of the Lone Ranger reporting on this before, and in the last couple of months, we've seen a lot of media interest across Western Europe. Other news organizations who've covered this as well. Must be nice to have some company this time, huh?
Yes, it's extraordinary to see how many headlines these incidents have actually generated, and to see all the open source intelligence X accounts covering it as well.
It's not something that we've experienced.
Why would we risk our best? I mean, I've talked to the best pilots in the world that are ours. Some of them, not all of them, and that have told me. I mean, one guy, I remember I was at the Capitol Hill Club. It was just an unusual encounter. A guy had spoke to a group, and he followed me out and said, Tim, or Congressman or whatever, he said that thing was 14 feet. He went like this from my canopy. And I thought to myself, why didn't he say 15? Why didn't he say 20? But he said 14. And then he said this thing, it wasn't ours. He said, I don't know what it was, but it wasn't ours. And that's all he said. And I had a very high-ranking member of the Navy describe some underwater experiences they'd had with something that was doing 200 miles. And the best thing we got is probably 40. It
was doing 200 miles an hour underwater.
Big as a football field. And that's no fit.
You see that? something as big as a football field. Okay, a football field is 100 yards, by the way. How many vehicles are 100 yards long? All right, and it's doing 200 miles an hour underwater, man. They have nothing that can compete with that. And Trump just might find out while he's over there messing with Venezuela, because he's had a Navy. The commander of the Navy resigned. Okay, you know, because he's over there blowing up ships because he wants to take Venezuelan oil. Okay, but you have these crafts. Okay, they're not just in outer space. These chariots have free reign to do whatever they want, man. Okay, physically speaking, as long as it's within the will of the Most High, that's what they're here for. Okay.
Ish.
So is it possible, given our current understanding of physics, for any man-made machine to go anywhere near 200 miles an hour underwater?
Not with our technology, no. The best we have is probably in the high 30s.
All right, so you're
They can't go more than 30 miles an hour underwater. This thing is going 200. Okay. And it was probably going slow just so Esau can see him. Okay. But this is, I'm going to close it here. It's Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 1. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him and made no account of his labors. And we are the reason, whether people want to hear that or not, we are the reason that this place is about to be visited. Okay. Just like we are the reason the Lord showed up, sent his servant to Egypt, Moses, and had the chariot show up and all of them plagues show up. It was for us. Okay, because Pharaoh refused to let us go. All right, and that's what you have here. Okay, I just read that in the other lesson in Jeremiah 30, 50, and 30. Okay, about the northern and southern kingdom, about how we were oppressed together. Did I have that right? I might be thinking about the wrong one. Yep. Where it says, thus saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts, Jeremiah 50 and 33, thus saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together, and all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go. Okay? Just like back in the time of Egypt, man. So we're in this situation again where they're refusing to let us go, man. Okay? Because as much as Esau wants to so-called deport us, they're not going to, there's no deportation because he runs Mexico. He runs South America, okay? So this guy's running the whole earth, you know? And he has no plans on relinquishing that, man, okay? The Lord's going to have to force him. It says, going back to Wisdom of Solomon 5, verse 2, it says, when they see it, they shall be troubled with fear and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation. So far beyond all that they look for. They're going to be scared shitless, man. Excuse my French. Okay? They're not going to have any comeback for this. Nothing to say. All right? And that's in Revelation, I believe, too, where the people, they wailed when the Lord returned, when it says he cometh in clouds, with clouds, and all the eyes shall see him, and they wailed of fear, man. Okay? Because he's going to look just like us, the so-called black man, the man that you said wasn't shit. Okay? Verse 3, it says, and they repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit shall say within themselves, this was he whom we had sometimes in derision and a proverb of reproach. Who else does this fit, man? Who else is at the bottom? Okay? It says, we fools accounted his life madness and his end to be without honor. And they're not ready for that, man. Okay? They're not ready for the ultimate Uno reverse, as Jake say. All right? Verse 5, how is he numbered among the children of the Most High, and his lot is among the saints? Okay? You're not going to have that with the people who've convinced the rest of the world that they're the people, okay? That automatically X's you out, because when the Lord comes to deliver this place, okay, it's not going to be for a people that was widely known to be the people. It's going to be for the people who were not said that they were children of the Most High. That's in Amos 1 or Hosea 1 and 10. I get Amos and Hosea mixed up a lot, Salakia. Okay, so that proves right there who we are, man. Okay, so this guy's scared, man. Anyway, I'm going to end it there. Lord willing, this is edifying. On to the next. Shalom.